In this video, I'm going to show you how to get started with rubrics. We're going to do just a really quick, simple rubric. You can obviously dive more into these and create more of them. You can always reuse them between assignments. We will include information in the video description on more ways that you can use rubrics in your class. But I just want to show you how to really get started with it and then how to use it within SpeedGrader. So I've created an assignment here and I want to attach a rubric. One thing to know is that if you're going to be using an external tool for your assignment, so Turnitin or Play-Doh or Google Docs Cloud assignments, you will want to create the rubric first. So edit your assignment. Don't choose the external tool yet. Edit your assignment, maybe add a few details and stuff, click save, then add your rubric, and then go back in and edit it to include that external tool. If you have questions about that, obviously you can reach out to the Connected Learning team. So I'm going to click this plus rubric button here, and this is how I build that rubric. So I will have a description of my criterion over here. Then I'm going to have my ratings in the middle, and these will be interactive boxes within my SpeedGrader. And then how many points for that one. So again, like I mentioned, we're just going to create a really simple one right now. I'm not going to get too detailed with this. So I'm just going to say number 1, update. I'm going to make this one, I'm going to keep it as 5 points, but I am going to add a mid-range point value there. So I've got 3 points, and that is going to be our mid-range point value. And then I'm going to add another line. So maybe I want to be grading on multiple items. So I'm going to add a new one. We'll call this one number 2. This one is going to be worth only 2 points. So when I update the point value there, it's going to update here as well. And they're either going to get full marks or no marks for that. And then I can continue to add new criterion. Notice that I can duplicate any of the previous ones as well, which makes it really easy then to change things around. So I'll add a third one, and I'm going to make this one worth 10 points. And I'm going to add a few different values in here. So I still have my mid-range one, and then maybe I also want to add a 7.5 point value, and that's going to be, we'll call it almost there. So I can continue to add these, and notice when I have these point values within here, I can click that pencil and I can add like a full description to my rubric as well. So it doesn't have to be quite as simple as I'm making it, but I can add full descriptions, and these can continue to be used over and over again. So if you use the same rubric for all of your maybe writing prompts or journal entries, you can continue to use that rubric. Down at the bottom here, a few of the options I want to go through. I can write free-form comments. So these comments are pre-filled in there, and I'm able to click on them. I can also choose to just write free-form comments, which is going to give me a blank box. I can fill it in, and then I would fill in the point value for that as well. I can say remove points from this rubric. So maybe it's just that I'm giving the students feedback. I'm not necessarily using it for point values. We don't use outcomes, so I'm going to skip this one. This is a really important one though. I do want to make sure that I use this rubric for assignment grading, and you'll see why in just a second. So I typically tell teachers to make sure that this one is clicked, and then I'm going to create my rubric. Yes, of course, because I made my rubric after I made my assignment. My assignment's only worth 8 points, but my rubric is worth 17. So I can either say leave it as different, or I'm going to change it, and it's just going to change the point value for my assignment. So that's a really nice little warning there that says, hey, wait a second, these two things are not the same. Do you want to make them the same? So I made them the same, and now we're going to look at actually grading a student's submission within SpeedGrader with this rubric. To access SpeedGrader, again, I'm going to come to the top right-hand corner and choose SpeedGrader, and I have a student submission in here. So I'm able to leave that feedback on my student submission. If you haven't watched our speed grader video, be sure to do that as well. And what you'll notice that I did not have this in the previous one. So if I go back to my previous assignment, notice that I have grade out of 8, but I don't have any rubric button there. Since I've included a rubric, I have it right here. This slider that we have right here is going to be really helpful when you have rubrics, especially ones that are more robust, because you're able to expand that to be able to see it a little better. So I'm going to choose View Rubric, and it's going to give me the rubric just like I built it. And as I mentioned, it's going to be interactive, which is very awesome. So I can click on each of these and actually grade the student's assignment that way. If I need to leave more feedback than just actually clicking on those boxes, I am able to add freeform comments in here as well. When I add a freeform comment, it will show up underneath there for that student, and then I'm just gonna click Save. And notice at the top right here, I have the grade. So it took the grade from the rubric and it put it into my grade right here for the student. And now that one has been graded, and I can tab over and go to my next student. So I'm able to quickly grade these. I can add comments like I was adding before in Speed Grader as well, but rubrics make it very easy to grade student submissions. In the last video in this series, we're going to go through how students actually access their rubric feedback as well as their Speed Grader feedback. So be sure to check out that video.